Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing the Supreme Court case, People of the Philippines versus Homerito S. Soliman, decided on April 25 of 2023 by the Supreme Court and BAM. I'm Shanai Juris Villanueva, by the way. And so this case is significant because it clarifies how Republic Act number 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 is applied in online libel cases, especially when it comes to penalties. So many people assume that when libel is committed online, imprisonment is automatic. This case corrects that misconception. In this video, I will answer the following questions. What is the case all about? What are the facts of the case? What are the issues involved? What is the ruling of the Supreme Court? And what are the key takeaways or learnings from this case? So let's begin with an overview of the case. So, what is the case all about? Excuse me. This case revolves around online libel, committed through Facebook, and more importantly, the proper penalty for the offense under Republic Act 10175. The core controversy is this: when a person is convicted of online libel, is the court required to impose imprisonment, or maybe it imposes a fine only? The people of the Philippines representing the prosecution argue that under Section 6 of Republic Act 10175, crimes committed through information and communication technologies must be punished 1 degree higher than those under revised penal code. According to the prosecution, this means that since online libel is 1 degree higher than the traditional libel, the accused must be sentenced to imprisonment, not merely a fine. On the other hand, the accused Homerito Soliman argued that the law still allows the court to impose a fine instead of imprisonment. The trial court exercised sound judicial discretion, and increasing the penalty would violate his constitutional right against double jeopardy. Thus, the case is not only about libel, but also about judicial discretion, interpretation of penalties, and the limits of government appeals in criminal cases. Second, fact of the case. The fact of the facts of the case began on January 23 of 2018 when Homerito S. Soliman posted several statements on Facebook. Excuse me. In this post, Soliman accused Waldo R. Caprio, an official of the Department of Agriculture, of intentionally delaying the release of his sanitary and phytosanitary import clearance, abusing his position, engaging in corruption and illegal backdoor activities. The post was written in angry and emotional tone, containing profane language, direct accusation, public tagging of high-ranking government official, including the president. Because of the public and malicious nature of imputation, Carpio filed a complaint for online libel under Section 4C4 of Republic Act 10175. Trial court proceedings. After trial, the Regional Trial Court of Quezon City found Soliman guilty beyond reasonable doubt of online libel. However, instead of imposing imprisonment, the RTC sentenced Soliman to pay a fine of 50,000, with subsidiary imprisonment only in case of non-payment. The RTC justified this penalty by considering several circumstances. First, Soliman acted out of anger. Second, he deleted the Facebook post. Third, he apologized multiple times to the compliant. And the court believed imprisonment would not best serve justice. The RTC relied on Administrative Circular number 082008, which allows judges to prefer the imposition of fine in libel cases when circumstances warrant. And Suleiman accepted the judgment and did not appeal and paid the fine. So, actions of persecution, the people of the Philippines, however, were not satisfied of this. So, they filed a petition for certiorari, arguing that the RTC committed grave abuse of discretion by imposing only a fine. They claim that under Section 6 of Republic Act 10175, the penalty should have been more 1 degree higher, meaning imprisonment should have been imposed. The Court of Appeals denied the petition, ruling that the alleged error was an error of judgment, not jurisdiction. The case was then elevated to the Supreme Court. Third, issues of the case. So the Supreme Court narrowed the discussion to one central issue. Did the, did the RTC commit grave abuse of discretion when it imposed only a fine online libel instead of imprisonment? To resolve this, the court examined several sub-issues. First, does Republic Act 10175 require imprisonment for online libel? Second, can a fine alone be legally imposed for online libel? Third, does increasing the penalty violate the accused's right against double jeopardy? And fourth, is Administrative Circular number 082008 still applicable to online libel cases, even though Republic Act 10175 was enacted later? Fourth part, the ruling of the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court denied the petition and affirmed the rulings of lower courts. No grave abuse of discretion. The court ruled that the RTC did not commit grave abuse of discretion. The trial court acted with its authority and exercised sound judgment based on the circumstances of the case. Fine is a valid penalty for online libel. Court clarified that Republic Act 10175 does not remove the option of a fine. While Section 6 of Republic Act 10175 states that the penalty shall be 1 degree higher, this does not mean imprisonment is mandatory. And under Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code, libel is punished by imprisonment or fine or a fine, or even both. Importantly, Article 7.5 of the RPC allows fines to be increased or decreased by degree, just like imprisonment. Correct fine computation, the court explained the computation clearly. Traditional libel fine 40,000 to 1,200,000. 1 degree higher, or the online libel, is from 40,000 to 1,500,000. The 50,000 fine imposed on Soliman is well within the lawful range. Double jeopardy, because the RTC had jurisdiction and committed no grave abuse. Increasing the penalty would place Soliman in double jeopardy. Therefore, the penalty cannot be increased. So for the last part, learnings and takeaways. This case gives us several important lessons. First, online libel does not automatically result in imprisonment. Courts retain discretion. Second, the phrase 1 degree higher applies to fines, not only to imprisonment. Third, Administrative Circular number 082008 remains applicable to online libel cases. Fourth, the prosecution cannot use certiorari to correct mere errors of judgment. And lastly, this case reminds us that social media posts carry serious legal consequences, and emotional online speech can lead to criminal liability. So, for conclusion, People versus Soliman clarified that the proper application of penalties under Republic Act 10175 reaffirmed judicial discretion and protected the constitutional right against double jeopardy. And that's all. I hope this discussion helped you better understand online libel under Philippine law. Thank you.